They say nurses should never get emotionally attached to their patients, but sometimes the heart doesn't follow rules. My name is Zara. I'm 32, a senior nurse in a private hospital. Over the years, I had seen countless faces, attended to endless cases, and learned to keep a professional distance. But everything changed the day I met him, Ian. He was brought in late one night after a motorcycle accident. His condition was critical. The moment I saw him, covered in bruises and blood, something inside me stirred. There was a strange calm on his face, even in unconsciousness. His name was Ian Khan, age 22. Lone. No family in the city. His file said he had recently moved here for work. The first few days were crucial. I was assigned to his case. I cared for him like I did for every patient, except with him something was different. I found myself watching him longer than usual. When I adjusted his I would pause, listening to his slow breaths. His eyes stayed shut, but I often spoke to him softly, telling him about the weather, about the shift changes, about things he couldn't respond to. I told myself I was helping his healing. Maybe I was healing a part of myself too. Then one evening, as I was changing his bandage, I felt a light grip on my wrist. I looked up. His eyes were open, weak but focused. "Water," he whispered. That single word, from lips I had only seen still for days, sent a strange warmth through me. I helped him sip, holding the glass with both hands so he wouldn't have to move. Our eyes met briefly, and I knew in that instant something had begun. As days passed, Ian recovered. He was quiet, polite, and carried a sadness I couldn't quite place. He never talked about his family, only thanked me every time I helped him. I didn't ask too many questions, but I saw it in his eyes. Gratitude, confusion, and something else he didn't yet understand. One evening after my shift, I went to his room with a book I thought he might like. He was awake, staring out the window. "For you," I said, placing the book beside his bed. He looked at me, eyes gentle. "You stay longer than you need to." Smiled. "Maybe I like this room more than the others." He didn't say anything, but I noticed the faintest smile tug at his lips. From then on, I began sitting by his side after hours. Sometimes we talked, sometimes we didn't. We just sat. Two people who didn't have the right words but found comfort in silence. There was a night I'll never forget. He was struggling with pain and couldn't sleep. I stayed with him, holding his hand. He whispered, "I don't know why, but when you're around I feel safe." I didn't reply. I just squeezed his hand gently. My heart beat a little faster, but I reminded myself. He's a patient. I'm his nurse. But emotions don't listen to job titles. From that night on, something changed between us. Nothing was said aloud, but it was there in every glance, every pause, every moment of silence that lingered too long. Ian's recovery sped up. He could walk a little, smile more often, and joke, lightly, about how hospital food was slowly killing him. He wasn't just healing physically. He was becoming a part of my world without even realizing it. Every evening after my shift, I found myself in his room. We talked about books, music, little memories from our pasts. I learned that he loved sketching, though he hadn't picked up a pencil in months. He learned that I used to sing softly during night shifts when patients were asleep, just to calm myself. One rainy evening, he looked at me and said, "Zara, can I ask you something personal?" I nodded, curious. "Why are you always so gentle with me, more than with other patients?" I paused, unsure how much truth to give. "Maybe because you remind me what it means to feel again." His eyes softened. "Feel what?" Smiled. "That I still have a heart." We both laughed quietly, but deep down we knew there was more behind those words. Days turned into weeks. His discharge date approached. I should have been happy he was going home healthy, but instead I felt a knot in my stomach. I didn't want him to go. The thought of passing his empty bed made my heart ache in advance. On his last day, I found myself fidgeting all morning. I had bought him a notebook and pencil set. "To start sketching again," I said, handing it to him. He looked at the gift, then at me. You've done more for me than any nurse should. You've been more. I looked away, suddenly nervous. You should rest now. The driver will take you soon. He hesitated, then gently reached for my hand. I'm not good at expressing things. But I need you to know, I never felt this kind of peace before. Not until I met you. There was a long pause. I blinked, forcing myself not to cry. I don't know what this feeling is, he said. But it's not just gratitude. I nodded slowly. I know. I feel it too. He stood up, still weak but steady. He stepped closer. Will I see you again? I looked into his eyes. Those same calm, searching eyes I had seen the night he arrived. Only if you want to. He smiled. Then I'll find you. Not as your patient, but as someone who wants to know you beyond these walls. And just like that he was gone. The room felt heavier without him. I stood there for a long time, staring at the empty bed. Something beautiful had bloomed between us in silence, in care, in unspoken moments. Weeks passed. One day, while I was reading during a short break, a shadow fell across my desk. I looked up. It was Ian, holding a sketchbook. I drew something, he said. He opened it to a page. It was a soft pencil sketch of me, sitting by his bedside, a quiet smile on my face. I told you I'd find you, he said with a quiet confidence. I smiled, heart full, tears threatening. You did. That day something began. Not just a friendship, not just an emotion born out of a hospital stay, but something deep, gentle, and unspoken. We didn't need labels. Our story had already written itself. In silences, in healing, in care.